the top of that. I'll give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the drive-thru, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And later, deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. With us is Brian Bitler. Got David Racey with us. Jovan should sign in a little later. Jay Briggs with us. And it's Zawacky. And here's how the lineup for on Monday. We got Bitler, Racey, Briggs, Burts, Zawacky. Then I will close this one out. All right. On the board, a good menu of activity today. Monday Night Football up there. We have Game 3 of the World Series, as well as 9 from hockey. We got 11 from the NBA, so we got a lot of content. You know, a week from today, there'll be college basketball on the board. A huge card, so we're getting to that time of the year. All right, let's get this one underway. Let's go to welcome in Brian Bitler. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Brian right now. We're going to roll with Brian with some NBA. Brian, what's happening?
I tell you what, ready to start a new week off a crappy weekend, but you know that goes like that sometimes. And this is one of the rare nights where we have baseball, NFL football, NHL, NBA. I forget what the official name of it is, but you don't get that. It's very limited time every year that you get all these sports at the same time.
Yeah, all those sports at the same time. And tomorrow you had college football, but not NFL. Yeah, it's getting, we're to the point now where every sport's in action. I think we're looking at Thursday maybe where we have an NFL and everything merges together, right? I think that's the day when, if the World Series is still happening by then, but we'll see how it rolls here because I think Wednesday, we'll see how the off day works. But anyway, Brian, we go to the hardwood here, NBA featuring the Hawks hosting the T-Wolves. We see this one close here. Timberwolves 1.5 on the road, total 228.5.
Yeah, I tell you what, really nice low-key NBA matchup here is those Minnesota Timberwolves visit the Atlanta Hawks, who are looking for their first home win of the season and are 1-2 overall this season. But they are off a shocking win against the Bucks last night, 127-110. I think that momentum is going to carry into this Monday game. I know it's a back-to-back here for the Hawks, but Minnesota Minnesota has looked beatable. We saw them against the Toronto Raptors. Raptors took them apart. Well, not took them apart, but they got the W there. Hawks have won 7 of the last 10 of this series, covered 8 of the last 10. It just seems like they have Minnesota's number. Minnesota Timberwolves have held both opponents under 100 points in the first 2 games. I think Atlanta will, again, get to 120 points and get the cover for us. I'm going to take the Atlanta Hawks plus any points you can get here.
All right, now plus 1.5 as we've seen some line movement on this game. And just trying to see, we didn't really see much injury report, just a move here. And actually 2.5 as we see it in many of the spots right now, but we're just starting to see the line move down right now as we speak. Yeah, interesting. This is I don't want to say a different Minnesota team, but it's very weird to sit here and talk about how Minnesota sits second in defensive efficiency as somehow, some way, this team out of the gate is playing defense.
Yeah, when I looked at the numbers, I saw in the first 2 games they held their opponents, I believe, under 100 points, and that's just very surprising. I know it's only 2 games, but I think Atlanta's going to be able to break that threshold here and get close to 120 tonight on them. Because I know Minnesota long term, I don't think they're going to keep holding teams to that number.
And I'm not a fan of a coaching change for a team that puts together a good season. We saw that with Milwaukee, right? And then they have that bad loss last night here as Atlanta goes in there and pounds them with a big shooting performance. Kind of a season for Atlanta where they had that really bad shooting performance out of the gate, and then they come back and shot better.
Yeah, for sure. And, these are the type of games that the Hawks need to win if they want to make the NBA playoffs at the end of the year. You got to win your home games. Winnable. Not that Minnesota is a bad team, but these are the games that you got to have at home. Yeah,
no doubt about that. All right. Brian here on Hawks plus 2.5 here against the T-Wolves. This one will have a start time here of 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium for tonight's action. Of course, we do have a lot on the board tonight. Boy, a lot to talk about here tonight here with the NBA. We got 11 games on the board, NBA. We also have in action NFL, Major League Baseball, lots on the ice as well. Good results in baseball for Brian. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Oh, I do have a premium play in Major League Baseball today, and I'm trying to finish the season out on a strong note. My best bet, though, is in the NFL Monday Night Football game. My Titanium play 13-6 over the last 19. That's a 68% hit rate. You can get that best bet over at dogs.com, so make sure you check it out. Or all three of my best bets. I have NHL, NBA, and I have the NBA, Major League Baseball, all three plays today for $50 at pickdogs.com. So make sure you check out I think it's the Moonshot 3-pack.
All right, Moonshot 3-pack. You got aboard with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dodge. Good results you see there from baseball. Action up there tonight. But a lot of you guys like to buy that 7-day pass on a Monday because it covers all of Brian's premium picks for 7 days, all the World Series picks here. It looks like Game 7 is scheduled for Saturday. So this covers the remainder of the World Series as well as all this NFL, college football for this week, NHL, NBA, all these sports overlapping. 7-day pass gets you all of those sports here. And he may even have, if he has any early Monday college basketball, that's in there too because it starts on Monday. So again, I'm with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dodge Premium. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout and you will save that 15% off. All right, Brian, as always, great on the show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week. But what are your thoughts there with that Eagles win yesterday?
I'll tell you what, the Eagles, though, I think their big game is next week against the Dallas Cowboys. And I'll tell you what, the Eagles didn't cover that game. The Commanders got the cover, and that's all that really matters yesterday. The Cowboys, though, they came out and shelled out against the Rams and really took them to pieces. So it's going to be an interesting matchup in Philly.
Yeah, how do you see that one working out? I know it's early on, but the Cowboys coming off that really good look against the Rams.
If I had to bet the game today, I would probably take the Dallas Cowboys plus the 3 points because it's an NFC East rival game, and I could see it coming down to a field goal. So if I'm getting 3 in my pocket, that's where I'd want to be. But it's a little early, but right now I'd go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. Of course, the Cowboys have been good in the division, right? That's what they've been able to do is really take care of the division. But this is a big matchup coming up next week. All eyes on this Cowboys and Phillies. I think we'll see how it rolls out. All right, Brian, have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with the end of the week.
Well, hopefully I'm streaking by Friday, for sure. This weekend was tough for me, but how it goes, you usually bounce back strong. But I look forward to catching on Friday, get some more winners out there, everybody. Absolutely.
Catch you on Friday. Brian Bitler here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Next up, we'll bring in David Racey. We'll get you some NFL coverage. Of course, we'll get the NFL coverage. David's based there in Detroit. A lot of excitement here about these Detroit Lions. We're hosting a Monday Night Football game tonight. The Raiders coming into town. We'll bring in David here right now. I think we're all set to roll here. Just a second with David Racey. David, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Just getting ready for the big game tonight.
I can just imagine what the mood is like in Detroit for this one.
Yeah, everyone's excited, that's for sure. I know downtown Detroit was packed early this morning with tailgaters. And this is the first Monday night game here, I think, since 2018 when the Jets visited. So it's been, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Of course, they get their national television on Thanksgiving, but we get a Monday night. They well-deserved the way they've been playing. And, bad news for Minnesota, good news for Detroit is looks like the Lions or the Vikings are going to have to do some issues with the quarterback. But anyway, the game tonight here features the Lions hosting the Raiders here. The Lions laying 7. We see the total 46.5.
Yeah, the Lions come into this one after that blowout loss last week to Baltimore. They looked horrible. They could get nothing going really in the first quarter of that game offensively, and they were down 21-0 pretty much right away. So they were out of that one early. The weather wasn't great for their passing attack. Hopefully they can throw that game away. But prior to that loss to Baltimore, Detroit had won 4 games in a row with an average margin of victory of 15 points. And I think we see maybe not a 15-point win tonight, but I think Detroit definitely covers this one here. When you're looking at Las Vegas, they're 3-4 this year. They're 1-3 on the road, including a really bad loss to the Bears last week by a score of 30-12. They didn't have Jimmy G, so I guess that could have played a role, but Chicago was also with their backup quarterback. Jimmy G will be back under center for this one here, but I don't know how much of an improvement that is. Like I said, this Vegas offense, not very good, only scoring 16 points per game. And they only are averaging 68 rushing yards. So that offense is struggling. The Detroit defense, not bad. Not great, but not bad. They've been a pretty average defense. Detroit is dealing with some injuries, just like last week against Baltimore. So that's definitely going to play a role in this one. But they match up with the Raiders a lot better than they do with the Ravens. Like I said, the Raiders' offense is not much of a threat. And Detroit's back at home. They're inside where they can throw the ball around much easier than in the windy conditions last week. So I'm going to fade the Raiders on the road. Like I said, only 1-3 in their 4 road games, and take the Lions here in this one.
All right, we got David says go here with the Lions here, laying the 7 here against the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders issues here, no doubt here with their running game, and that's going to make it tough for Garoppolo. He's going to have to get that ball out early, especially here with, I would probably say, maximum home field advantage with the crowd noise here on a Monday night. It will be electric there, no doubt, in Detroit. Of course, concerns here with the running game right here with actually, we know that Raiders running game has been issues, but the injury to Montgomery, right?
Yeah, that injury hurts, and it's going to fall on Goff. I mean, I'd love to say that Gibbs and Reynolds can step up for the Lions, but it's going to fall on Goff, and I think he'll be able to handle it just fine. Like I said, this Raiders team is just not a huge threat, in my opinion. You look at what this Detroit team has done against lesser opponents. They beat the Falcons by 14, Packers by 14, Panthers by 18, Tampa Bay by 14. So, the only 3 close games they've had this year have been Kansas City, Seattle, and Baltimore, who, in my opinion, are 3 of the top 8-7 teams in the league. So Detroit lines up really well here, and while that running game does worry me without Montgomery, I don't think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's because my numbers. My model shows it was Lions 10.5, so it's a pretty big variance there, and I could see this one kind of getting away from the Raiders only because, again, there are issues there offensively, and of course the Lions coming off that loss, and I think it's a factor as well coming into this game, trying to erase that ugly defeat. We see that a lot with these NFL teams when they get embarrassed.
Yeah, and I mean another reason for that too, like I said, injuries, and it's not just the skill position guys. That offensive line for Detroit's very banged up as well. So that could play a role. Obviously, if Goff doesn't have much time to throw, that could be a problem. But I don't think that'll be the case. I think they'll be fine.
All right, here we go with David here. Lions laying the 7 here against the Las Vegas Raiders. I just thought get your thoughts here. The Pistons, how did they look for you coming out of the blocks here to start the year?
They look pretty good, I've enjoyed watching them early, and they're young, they're very young, and they got a lot of growth, but they're 2-1 through 3 games. They play tonight in OKC, so we'll see how they do there. That'll be a tough game for them, but I've enjoyed watching them. I'm impressed, and I don't have high expectations, but I would just love to be in the race for that play-in tournament. Just give us something to root for here, because it's been a while since Detroit's been really in any type of playoff race for basketball.
Yeah, and of course you got Cunningham in there putting up some good numbers. Of course, you get OKC in a back-to-back here in this spot, whereas you've got Thunder not feeling good about that. And SGA was just a horrible performance last night.
Yeah, OKC though, I really like OKC. I think they're a really solid team. So this will be, I know it's a back-to-back, but it'll be a good measuring stick for where the Pistons are. And on that Cade Cunningham note, I'll be really interested. If he can stay healthy, I'm really curious what he can put together over, if he's able to play 70, 75 games in a season. I really want to see him do that and see what kind of numbers he puts up, because he has not played much through his first 2 years.
No, that's right. He has not, and of course they kind of cleared the way a little bit here because remember we had Jeremy Grant over there. There was a lot of running and gunning with the players around Cunningham. We got Alec Burks off the bench, had a pretty good performance the other night. We see Ivy, Marvin Bagley, who's been kind of well traveled, Joe Harris, a veteran. How do you see their bench?
I actually like it. I mean, they've been rotating in a ton of people. Sometimes in the NBA, you only see 7, 8 guys play, but the Pistons have been regularly playing like 10 players or more, and it's been cool to see because you get that depth, you can get some fresh legs out there, and you get a better look at some of these young guys because they have a ton of young talent. So it's good to get some guys playing time, but to be able to rotate those kind of numbers in, that should help them long term, and it'll help them keep guys like Cunningham healthy.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need good health, and of course, any time you get these injuries, then you go deeper and deeper into your bench, and that's where it really causes a lot of problems. Of course, to see these young guys develop for Detroit. Of course, the play on record here for David will be the Lions laying the 7 here against the Raiders, and this one will have a start time here tonight at 8:15 Eastern time. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. As you know, we do have a lot of action tonight here. NBA, NHL. David off to a fantastic start in the NHL this year. 390 units of profit. A sole game here from World Series. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a little bit of everything going tonight. I got one play in the NFL, one in the NBA, 2 in the NHL, and 1 in the MLB. So 5 total. I have a 3-pack that has NFL, NHL, and MLB in it, and then I also have a couple solo packages. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium, check out what I got going tonight or long term, because that's where the value's at, especially this time of year. And let's have a good night.
So I get on board with David Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results here in the NHL, so get on board with David right now. He's got 3 multi-sport packages up there, individual packages as well. But again, you guys like that 7-day pass on a Monday. Get all of David's pre and plays for 7 days. Covers the remainder of the World Series. Game 7 is scheduled for Saturday, as well as the NBA, NHL, NFL, college football for the entire week. Get on board with David. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. He'll save that 15% off. All right, David, as always, great having the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. Let everybody know we can catch your written work over on the sites.
Yep, I'm one of the free pick article writers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So you head on over to the website. Right on the top bar there's a tab that says free picks. You click on that. You click whatever sports you're looking for. And we do a free pick article on just about every single sporting event. You'd be hard-pressed to find a sporting event that we don't have an article on. So head on over there. It's a great source of information. You can see some trends. Then you get a free pick. So head on over to Pick Dogs or Sports Chat Place and check out the free pick area.
That's right, guys. Get up over here with David Racey and check out David Racey's written work over at Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place over on the sites. All right, David, have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You as well. David Racey here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Time to bring in Jay. Catch Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs. Of course, we'll talk to him about that game tonight on baseball. We're going to start with NBA because Jay's got the NBA up on the board here for the show. Let's bring him in, catch him over at Pick Dogs. He does have his jam session. Hope you guys catch us every day here on the show. Let's bring in Jay, ready to roll with Jay Briggs. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, how you doing on a Monday?
Doing great. Feeling great here on a Monday. NBA, nice board, 11-game card. Got me up early this morning. I'll get him in. But anyway, Bulls and Pacers going head-to-head tonight as we see the Pacers favored 3.5 with a total 229.5.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have watched all 3 of the Bulls games thus far this season. I've watched more Bulls basketball than damn near any team. And what I've seen in all 3 games is the Bulls are on the verge of blowing this thing up. Like, I think we're seeing the very end of the Chicago Bulls. Got their doors blown off by the Thunder first game. They did beat Toronto, but that's as fraudulent as a win comes. I had Chicago in that one. They should not have won that game. They got lucky. Toronto entered foul trouble, and they still had things break their way they shouldn't have. Got a 1-point win, and that took a Caruso game winner of all folks in that one. And then their last game, man, out on the road, they got took behind the shed again by the Detroit Pistons. Tonight on the road, I think they get run off the court by the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers, I like what I've seen from them. They're going to be a run-and-gun team. When their guy Tyrese Halliburton is healthy, more often than not, he gives them a great chance to win. I think he's the best player on the floor tonight. And I don't think defensively the Chicago Bulls are going to be able to stop this run-and-gun Indiana Pacers team. I think the Pacers could put up 130, 140 in this one, and the Chicago Bulls just can't keep up. I saw Zach LaVine was game-time decision earlier. It looks like he will play, but he hasn't looked good either. I think this is a Pacers-type spot. I'm going to lay the wood with Indiana at home.
All right, we got Jay says take the Pacers laying 3.5 here against the Bulls. You know, Tyrese Halliburton has been solid. You know, they get I think a career game out of Aaron Nesmith off the bench. These Pacers, see, this is how deep the Pacers are. Well, when you can get production 26 off the bench here with Nesmith, and then you kind of look at the bench here for the Bulls, and you kind of wonder why. You want to know why DeMar DeRozan didn't re-up. You know, remember we talked about this, and he has an expiring contract. And I have a feeling this was going to linger on throughout the season.
Tony T, hey, this is a team I look to target now more often than not. A big city team, big market team, one of the more marquee franchises in all of sports. More often than not, they're overvalued. People love the Bulls. And they got some stars. They got some solid players, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, but they just have not gelled. It hasn't happened. They held a players-only meeting after game one. They know what type of time it is here in Chicago. I think it's only a matter of time. They almost blew it up last year. I think they do blow it up this year.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I mean, we get to the All-Star break. That DeMar DeRozan will be a rental. LaVine is hard to move because he's got a lot of years and he's got that big contract and he's a fragile player.
Yep, definitely. I agree with you. I think the first person gone will probably be DeRozan. As he goes somewhere to really compete. We'll see. The in-season tournament coming up, so we might see them hold on till then. But after that, I think is when we'll see the league kind of shake up a bit. I can't wait for the in-season tournament. The closer we get, the more excited I get, low key.
Yeah, I think the players look at here are that could be moved here. The Rosen, of course, Siakam and Anunoby are. I know one of them is expiring. The other one has a player option next year. So keep an eye on those three. Toronto is a team. They're just all they're doing is playing defense there. So we'll see how that rolls there. Your initial thoughts on the Raptors? Just seems like they're just going all defense.
Raptors are a tough team to figure out. The thing is I think pure talent, this is one of the worst teams they've had in recent memory. Just pure talent on the floor. But I still think we're going to be able to make money with them in certain spots until they blow it up. They were the second most profitable home ATS team last year. They play well at home, and they usually play well against bad teams. Defense usually travels, like you said. That's what they're best at. And in the regular season, that can win you games in the grand scheme of things. It probably won't. This is an offensive league, and they lack that, but I think they'll be able to be just fine in certain spots. They're lacking a star. I don't know if they can get a star without giving up a few pieces, so they're kind of in no man's land.
What did you take from that coaching change in Milwaukee? We saw the Bucks get hammered last night. I didn't like the firing of the coach, Budenholzer. I know people are critical of his teams, but man, the team performed well in the regular season. Hey, you're going to get knocked out in the first round. We know what happened to his brother. The Bucks, just horrible performance last night.
It was a terrible performance. Did you see Flavor Flav before the game? I think that took the whole energy out the building. But in all honesty, Tony T, I kind of think it was a look-ahead spot to tonight. They know they were on the front end of a back-to-back, and they got the Miami Heat coming into town. Remember, the Milwaukee Bucks were a number 1 seed last year.
Yep.
In the East, and they got put out of the playoffs by an 8-seed Miami Heat team. Hey. I don't think they take that lightly. I think they kind of looked ahead to this one tonight. We'll see if they come out and if they can finally put it together because they're 0-2 against the number as well. So we'll see if Milwaukee shows up tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if that coaching change. I don't think it's going to work for Milwaukee. That's a team I did not like the coaching change. And Miami was an 8 seed, but they didn't play like an 8 seed, right? Your team is number 1 seed in the. It's hard to do that in the East. He also the coach got you a world title. That was one of the. I mean, to me, I'm just scratched. I remember a long time ago, who was it? Was it Bill Parcells? So you never fire a coach that goes 10-6 or 9-7 in the NFL because it's very hard to win. If you don't fire a coach that takes you to the number 1 seed. It's a stupidity there in my eyes. But anyway, let's move on here to this game. We know everybody wants to hear this one. Rangers D-backs, a 1-1 series. Rangers on the road where they love to play. I don't know what it is about the Rangers. Maybe they're tired of that home cook. Maybe they're tired of that barbecue. So they're short favorites. This is about 105 even here. Scherzer on the mound. How's that shoulder feeling? Facing the D-backs. The D-backs got these relievers who were garbage for about 8 months, and they turned it on in the final month of the season. How do you see this one?
I see it both ways. I feel both arguments on the side. This one I just think comes down to who was right, in all honesty. Because, there's the argument that the Rangers have yet to lose a postseason playoff game. What are they, 7-0 on the road in the playoffs? So there's that argument. There's the argument that, Scherzer is the better starting option because he has the experience. He's a definite Hall of Famer. But pitching better right now today is Brandon Pfaadt. But can the Rangers offense get to him like they've gotten to most of the starters on the road? Definitely. But can I see the Diamondbacks loading up the bases and continue to keep it moving? Their hitters staying hot? Definitely. It's a tough one. This is a tough game. I think it's going to be a tough back and forth series. Me personally, Tony, I've yet to see my team lose on the road. They just have played their best baseball out there.
Yeah,
I trust Scherzer, and I think they keep it rolling.
Yeah, I think the thing here has been the play of the Arizona bullpen, and I may kind of joke to it because they had not looked good at all for the first 5 months of the season. All of a sudden, last month and the postseason, they've just been putting it together, and it's funny because I'm starting to see ball movement from these pitchers that I've never seen before.
The thing is it's a tricky situation with their bullpen because game 2. They didn't use their main guys. They didn't really need to. Game 1, the Rangers actually got to their main guys, Sewald, Castro, and there was another one. They kind of got to the D-backs bullpen early. That's what won the game. Late in the game, they got to that Diamondbacks bullpen. They didn't have to in game 2 because the Diamondbacks got to the Rangers early enough in that one. So we'll see if the Diamondbacks bullpen can stay as dominant as they were before this series. We'll see if the Rangers bullpen can play okay on the road. They will have their main guys up again today, Spores, Leclerc, probably some of those Chapman. We'll see. I agree with the line. I think the line is right where it should be. So it's going to be a hell of a game tonight in Arizona.
Yeah, the Sharps are clashing here on this total because early morning this one steamed to 9.5, and then there was buyback. So the Sharps are on both sides on this total.
Brandon Pfaadt, it just depends on what you think you're going to see from him tonight because his numbers suggest that he has been pitching extremely well. But, we saw him in spots in the regular season really get lit up by some of the best offenses in baseball, and the Rangers definitely are that. So something has to give tonight. So I definitely could see both sides on that one as well. I think this is one of the more competitive, straight-up, even games we've had all postseason. And it's in the World Series, so I think we're in for a hell of a one.
Yeah, it looks like we're a heck of one. Someone's asking in the chat room your thoughts on the Hornets game tonight with Brooklyn.
I would take Brooklyn there. Brooklyn's searching for his first dub. Charlotte, this is not one of my favorite games, but I lean Brooklyn in that one. I just think Brooklyn is the better team. I want Brooklyn to start Cam Thomas. That's what I want. I want Brooklyn to start Cam Thomas. He needs to stop coming off the bench. He's their best scorer. And when the ball's in his hands, I feel like they are playing their best basketball. So those are my thoughts there. Still early in the season. We're still in the filling out process. The Hornets are not nearly as bad as they were last year. They're healthy right now, and that just wasn't the case last year. So tough game. I think that line is probably right where it should be as well, right at Brooklyn as the small 2-point favorite. They should get their first win of the season, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Hornets got that done.
Yeah, we talked about the injury luck for Sacramento last year. This year, off the bat, so it looks like Darren Fox will be missing a few games as he got nicked up. And your thoughts here? I know it's early. A lot of people like the scooter coming out to Portland. It's not been so good so far. What do you see? What's your outlook for him?
Hey, Tony T, it's been almost as bad as it can be. He doesn't look nearly as explosive as many thought. His shots aren't falling, and the pieces around him really aren't hooping either. Aiden hasn't really panned out. They're in a bad spot tonight, back-to-back. Again, up against a Raptors team that was the best ATS team last year. The Portland Trail Blazers right now today are the worst team in the NBA. And it's not looking good. Like you said, it's early, so I don't want to completely write them off. But right now, today, through their 3 games, they are the worst team in the NBA.
Looking there at that. Any rookie that caught your attention so far this early on, other than the usual suspects?
Rookie. I mean, if we're just gonna say it would have to be my guy here in Dallas, Derek Lively. I think his very first game, he had more points in his NBA debut than he had at his entire career at Duke. I think he had 17 game 1 for Dallas or 15. I think his highest scoring game at Duke was 14. I love how he plays above the rim. Of course, Chet Wemby, they're going to do what they do. But I think Derek Lively has now kind of entered that airspace with, a really good rookie. 2 guys that are not rookies but have really surprised me. Cade Cunningham, I love what I've seen from Cade. in Detroit. I think David is going to be pretty excited with this team this year. I'm on the Pistons bandwagon this year. And then Mike Davis tweeted me last night and rung me a bell on a guy that has been hooping as well, and it's probably not getting the light shine on him. Vassell down there in San Antonio. I've really liked what I've seen from that young man as well early to begin the season. So those are just a few guys off the top of my head that I've liked what I've seen early this year.
All right, there you go, Jay.
And Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas.
Absolutely, Cam Thomas off the bench. All right, Jay, on record here with Pacers laying at 3.5 here against the Bulls for tonight's action. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Doctrine for tonight's action. Good start in the NFL. Great work here at NFL from Jay tonight. Also, last 7 days showing great profit. NFL game. We got 11 on the board here from the NBA World Series as well, featuring your Rangers in action. Of course, hey, Jay likes he's got a winner on the ice already for you this year as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yes, sir. I got 4 plays in total tonight. I got 3 in the NBA, all included in a money-making 3-pack. Of course, I have a top play in the NBA tonight, and then I have a top play in Major League Baseball. So you guys can hop on that over at Pick Dogs Premium. No play in the NFL game. I would lean Lions, but I didn't absolutely love it, so I left it alone. But I absolutely love this NBA tonight. You guys can hop on that. Best thing to do, hop on long term. Or, hey, I got a new product coming out soon. We'll talk about it more in depth soon, but new product on the horizon.
Very good, guys. Got aboard Jay Briggs over at Pick Doctrine. Great results to see Jay here in the NFL this year. 360 units of profit. Get on board. You guys love that 7-day pass here on a Monday. Coverage for the entire week of the NFL, college football, World Series. We also have NBA, NHL. Get on board. Pick us a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Jay, as always, great having a show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But everybody know we can catch you at your live shows in the morning as well as your NBA Jam.
Yes, sir. You can catch me in the morning with Mitch and Ruffalo. You can catch my NBA Jam session. Most days it'll be posted at night. On the weekends and stuff, it gets kind of tough. Hey, we're back. It's the word Brian was looking for earlier, sports equinox. That's the word with all the sports in action. So, most days I'm going to try to get out at night. If it's not up at night, it'll be up in the morning. So, a lot of work going on right now behind the scenes. Y'all know, hey, Tony T will tell you. But it'll be out every day. You can check out the jam session.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when these games drop, and sometimes they are like they are early morning, you got to set that alarm clock. Sometimes you're too sleepy to do it, so you just get up in the middle of the night and do it. So get on board. Joe D'Amico taught me that trick. Joe D'Amico taught me that trick. Sometimes I go to bed at 8 in the morning, wake up at 3 in the morning because I'm too damn tired.
It happens, man. It happens.
There you go. All right, Jay. Have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
See you later, Tony T.
You got it. Jay Briggs here on the drive through. All right, let's continue on. Looks like Jovan is ready to roll. We got Jovan. Let's see. Maybe he'll be in a casino here. He's putting us in the mood to hit the casino. I like that look. Let's bring him in right now, Jovan. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Probably ready to make a bet here soon. We'll bring him in right now. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We lost him there. Oh, we got him back. Jovan, what's happening?
I'm right here, Tony. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go. Late night game tonight. NBA TV features the Lakers. It was a really good, exciting game last night on a back-to-back here to face a rested Magic team. We see the Lakers 2.5 for the total 219.5.
Yeah, so I have a new thing that I'm developing where I'm fading the older teams against the young upstarts. The kind of teams that run you out the gym, and the Magic are one of those teams. Playing the Lakers team, who not only are they on the second night of a back-to-back, but they're playing off an overtime loss. Now you can't say that, they might need to win, especially with the Clippers coming up. But the Magic want to prove something to the Lakers. They've lost a bunch of games in a row to them, and they have the talent to beat them, hands down. Banchero, Suggs, Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., that's their starting lineup right there. You know what I mean? And Markel Fultz, So, this is a well-rested team in the Magic, 2-0 against the spread and straight up, even though they faced, some teams that they were supposed to beat. The Lakers, they're 0-3 against the spread, 1-2. And they really shouldn't have won that game against Phoenix, to tell you the truth. But they pulled it out in the fourth quarter with LeBron. So with that said, I'm on the Magic in this one to hand it to the Lakers. But I'll take the points in my pocket.
All right, we got Jovan says take the Magic here, plus the 3. Well, actually, now the number sits around 3. It's going to move to 2.5. I think here at the sharpest book in the world, news coming in that Hachimura is doubtful for this game. We know James and Reddish were on their injury report as probable, so no Hachimura. Looks like Hachimura moving to doubtful tonight. And Orlando, a rested team, clean injury report for about time.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yep. There we go with Jovan here on the Magic. It's going to be 2.5 now we're in a fluid situation here at this time of the evening here as these lines move. And this one have a start time 10:30 Eastern time. Watch it over on NBA TV. You guys have multiple screens. This is going to be a late night game, so you just had no problem catching it. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at pick.com for tonight's action. Jovan off to a monster start here in the NFL. We got the NFL game up there. We have an 11-game board here from the NBA baseball as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, the 4 o'clock games got me with Baltimore and the under. Double whammy in the fourth quarter. They scored all types of points. So the units went down to NFL, but hey, I'll get it back. And it's going to start tonight with a 3-pack, 2 NBA plays in the Monday Night Football game. And then I got another key basketball game that I like, on for longer term subscribers. So I got 4 plays in all, and they're gonna be hitters. It's gonna be a 4-0 night, I believe. Once you do that, go to my 3-day, my 7-day, my 30-day, my yearly, or mess with what other one of the handicap promotion. You can't go wrong here at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed. Get on board with Jovan Burts over at Pick Dog Premium. Great start to the NFL season. Plays tonight on the board. A multi-pack and featuring NBA 3-packs. Again, you guys love those long-term passes. That 7-day pass. Get all of Jovan's premium plays for the NFL this week. College football, NBA, World Series. So get on board. Pick is your promo code. Save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotion. Even greater value. All right, Jovan, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. See you on Friday.
See you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. You guys missed a pick. We always recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Rod Zawacky up next. He's been good to us here on the drive-thru. Catch him at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Rod in, ready to roll with Rod Zawacky. Rod, what's happening?
No, not too much. Getting ready for tonight's action. Staying warm. So
yes.
It's chilly again.
I know. I feel cold just looking at Rod. He's got it right. We're already in autumn weather here. We're just, about a month and
it's -1 right now is the temperature here, so that's Celsius, so that's probably why. Was it 30 something?
Oh.
Yeah, it's cold.
Wow, we're below freezing already. Below freezing
already.
Oh, that time's
at
getting...
90 drops down to below -10, -17 last night was overnight. So, yeah, it's back to freezing weather.
All right, top of the hour tonight, Hurricanes and Flyers going head-to-head here. We see the Hurricanes road favorites, $1.84, total 6.5.
Yeah, we look at this Hurricanes big road favorites here in this one, and I don't like it. You look at the Canes to start the season 2-4 on the road to kick things off. They started that big West Coast road trip and they didn't fare so well on it. They played their best hockey at home. Frederick Anderson gets a start here, though. He's off to a great start, 3-0 off the season. He does have a 3.38 goals against average and an .875 save percentage, so he is prone to giving up goals early and often as the Carolina defense has been their hindrance. It's the reason why they've lost games. 30th in the NHL, giving up over 4 goals a game is this Carolina defense to kick off the year. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing everybody jumping on the Hurricanes because they've seen the Flyers lose to the Ducks last time out. But you got to remember, Samuel Ersson got the start for the Philadelphia Flyers in that one, and he's young rookie. He got worked in that one. They let him out to dry, too. It was an early morning game. They didn't give him any help, and they left him in there the whole game. So he got worked for all 7 goals, and it was pretty ugly early in that one. But the reason why the Flyers have been good all season is Carter Hart. Carter Hart's getting the start here tonight. He's 4-2-1 with a 2.18 goals against average, 929 save percentage. He's coming off a great win, shutting down the Minnesota Wild offense that is beasts. They're scoring over 4 goals against offensively, and he shut them down. Made 27 saves in that one. I think he's the difference here. Freddie Anderson in goal. Like I said, he's giving up over 3 goals a game. People are expecting the Flyers to look awful after what they played the Ducks. Different goalie, different game. I think the Flyers are the money line here in this one.
All right, we got Rod here. Flyers money line plus 164.65 here against the Hurricanes, and I say they're picking up their frequent flyer miles early this season. Are these Hurricanes? They've been on the road a lot, and I saw that first game against the Kings, and I was surprised the Kings got 5 goals on them. I thought they were out. Kings were going to be outmatched, but I think that was a game that never ended, right? They went to 8-player, 9-player shootout, and then they continued on the road, lose to Anaheim, and of course they beat San Jose, and then they got roughed up in Seattle, Colorado, and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, see, Hurricanes on the road has been awful defensively, awful, and it's like everybody's looking and it's that eye test. Everybody's seeing what the Flyers did, but you got to remember, different goalie. What I remember is Carter Hart standing on his head and shutting down everybody and getting wins. But you figured the Flyers were going to be awful. He's been stealing games, and I think he steals another one right here for these Flyers. As the Hurricanes defense, 30th in the NHL, giving up over 4. This Flyers offense could get to him. Especially Freddie giving up over 3 goals a game. I like the Flyers here. Nice little sneaky plus money play. Love it.
There you go. Against the well-traveled. This team's been on the road a lot this year. They opened up a 3-game road trip after starting middle October away from home out in the West Coast. So a lot of traveling here for the Hurricanes to start the season. Almost like Pittsburgh last year, right? Pittsburgh got it.
Yeah, remember they did the same thing. They drew the short straw for the West Coast road trip last season. And they got worked. I remember that. They were ugly. It was like, I think they were worse than the Hurricanes defensively to start the year last season, where the Penguins definitely. That's why they picked up Carlson. They wanted to kind of shore up that back end. I don't know if it's paid dividends so far, but still early in the season in that one. Hurricanes have not been good on the road.
Hurricanes. All right. Speaking of CFL, Rod, we got lines up for looks like the 4th, right? Hamilton and Montreal. Looks like Montreal 3.5, 47 total.
Yeah, and I like Montreal there. Montreal did the little rougey thing. They're very good at it. They've become to be able to, when you're down in the CFL, there's this weird rule, like you're down, you're second down and say you're at like second down and 18. Well, they can do an onside kick as long as everybody's behind the line and you can kick the ball and recover it yourself and just shut it down. So as Montreal did this weekend past against Hamilton. I think Montreal wins by a touchdown plus. I would lay the points with Montreal. They are the better team in this one, and they'll run right over Hamilton and end their season early. All
right. Where are we at? Are we in postseason already with these, Rod?
Yeah, these are playoff games. There's only 2 games this week, right? So the other one should be Calgary and Winnipeg. Calgary
and BC. BC 6.5.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Calgary and BC, yes.
Calgary and BC. BC 6.5. Is this like a wild card, or are there some buys? How does the format work?
This is the Western Final.
Okay.
So this one, Calgary and BC is the Western Final. Winnipeg won the West, so they get the bye for the. So they're waiting. The winner of that game plays Winnipeg for the Western Final. In the other game, Montreal playing Hamilton. They're waiting to play Toronto for the East Final. So these are the semifinals of the East and the West.
I got you. Okay, so semifinal here, Calgary and BC. 3:30 Eastern. We have BC 6.5, total 49.5 in the semifinal West.
And I would jump on that one. I would take the BC Lions. I think they win by 10 plus. The last time we've seen these 2 teams, Calgary upset BC, but they had no motivation in that game. They already knew it. They already had lost to Winnipeg, like I said, in that game when we took Calgary. Calgary needed that win to make the playoffs and make the spot. Now BC wants to get revenge against Winnipeg. I think they're going to take out a little bit of frustration. I think Calgary is going to be in for a long, long day. I think they lose by 20-plus points. I think take BC, lay the 6.5. I think if you can find an extended line in your book, take it. I think BC routs Saskatchewan, or about routes Calgary in that one. Beat down of Calgary. Yeah.
There we go. That's right. And, of course, we're getting that time of the year where we start to see the bad weather there. Okay, so whose team's going to win the Grey Cup this year?
Who's going to beat Toronto? Toronto is just such a juggernaut this season in the CFL. I think they win it. I think they easily beat Montreal, get to the finals. Who wins it? Man, it's going to be a battle between Winnipeg and BC. That's going to be the best game I think we're going to see in these playoffs because the winner that goes to the Grey Cup, they've beat each other both up all season long. I'm excited to see that game. I think it's going to be Toronto and Winnipeg. It's my bet. Winnipeg's made it the last the last 3 seasons, I believe, and I think they make it again. I think there's a lot of people seeing on BC to make it, and I think you got to go through Winnipeg, and going through Winnipeg in the playoffs for the West Final. Good luck. Good luck.
All right, semis here on Saturday, the 3 Eastern, the 6:30 Eastern. So guys, check them out. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. We got 11 on the board, NBA, 9 NHL. Of course, they don't want to. They have a few small card on Halloween, so they want to get these games in, right? And of course, Monday Night Football, World Series, Rod with fantastic numbers, college football, NFL combined. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium tonight, I love today's card. I've got 6 plays going. I've got a couple for long-term subscribers, and then I've got a mixed sport triple where you'll get the Monday Night Football play, my solo play on the hardwood, plus the winner of Game 3 in the World Series. You can get that all in one triple, or you can get the Monday Night Football nickel play singly, or you can get my 10-star of the play singly as well. Love that play tonight on the ice. Or grab something long-term. We got college football tomorrow and football continuing the rest of the week, so definitely jump aboard, grab a week pass. It'll get you right through the week. I think it'll get you right through start of college basketball. Starts in a week. Tonight
Monday
will be the kickoff. So a 7-day pass will get you the first night of college basketball as well. So jump aboard. Joining for the week. Had a little bit of a so-so weekend. Lost a couple units, but we'll bounce back and get those this week. Definitely, so jump aboard. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off your purchases. And hey, check out that 2-for-1 capper here, 3-for-1 capper deal. That's always a good deal over there at pickdogs.com.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Rod Zawacky over at pickdogs.com. Premium. Good time to get on board with Rod. He likes that 7-day pass is great. All these sports overlapping. No better time than now to get that 7-day pass. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But let everybody know we can catch a video series over on Pick Dogs.
Yeah, definitely go check out the hockey videos. 9 videos today, plus a parlay video. So if you're looking to see who else I like in today's hockey action, head on over, like, subscribe. That way you get the notice when those videos drop. You get the best numbers with us. We cover every game, every day over at pickdogs.com. You can check out every hockey game going on the board. Definitely go check those out.
Check them out. Indeed, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Rod drops those videos, you get them right away. Get the best numbers. All right, Rod, have a great night. Stay warm, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, you as well, Tony. Good luck with your bets, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. Rod Zawacky here on the Drive To. Let's continue on here on the show. Let's get to the recap, then we'll get to my pick. My pick's going to start here pretty soon, so let's get it up here. All right, recap it. Brian liked the Hawks, plus 2.5 against the Wolves. David says Lions laid the 7 against the Raiders. Jay says Pacers, 3.5 against the Bulls. Jovan likes the Magic, plus 3.5 against the Lakers. Actually, we need to correct that line because this time of the hour, we're going to get the line movement, right? So right now, let's give you an update on line 2.5. You can find a lot of threes out there. 3 here against the Lakers. Rod on Flyers plus 164 against Hurricanes. Like that one too. I'll be on the Wizards plus 10.5 against Celtics. The one I like the most here would be on the Magic here. You get that 3 points. I like that one there. I like kind of where Javon's going. Take the young against the old. Just the younger lineup. This Magic team is well rested. You got the Lakers here on a back-to-back. And of course, Hakamura, it will not play tonight. He's ruled out for this game. Getting back to this Wizards game, that's the one I'll be looking at. I see the Wizards. My line variance is 2.5. I got Boston laying 8. Should be 8. I got it getting 2 here, so I'll get the extra 2.5 points. Think that's enough edge here to take the Wizards in this game. Wizards against the Celtics, kind of early to late double digits, right? Don't you think it is? I mean, I think it's a little bit too early. The Celtics bench is in question for me. Wizards are playing at the fastest pace in the league, and they've been very strong on the defensive glass. Boston just 36% shooting, but their 3-point defense is last in the league. So I'll go here. I'll go with the Wizards here in this one at that plus price. at that plus 10.5 here against the Boston Celtics. You see that high total, yeah, because of the pace of play. You're going to see a fast pace indeed, but I'll still take them here plus the points. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We got the recap, so let's just recap it. Let's just close it out, guys. That'll do it for this edition here on the drive-thru. Make sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. The go out there place for you here on the show. Remember, it always begins every day here during the week. It is 10:30 a.m. Eastern time with that morning show. You got Chris, you got Jay, you got Mitch with the morning show. Mitch is 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools show, as well as roundtable discussions. Big Al with his all access public betting from Dana. Remember Rod's NHL video series as well. We also have Mills with his prop video, UFC rundown. We got, of course, Wayne with his boxing rundown as well. Jay's jam session, NBA, also NFL. Romanelli with the MLB and college football rundown. And lots of videos up here at Pig Dogs Sports Chat Place. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Be live with us. Get the plays in real time. Love the like everyone's for joining us today. Really good audience today. Blake, as always. Young Sizzle, shout out to you as well. Zach Brown in there as well. Kobadaza, shout out to you. And of course we got Lando 86, shout out there as well. Jimmy Lee in there as well. The Fang, it is wearing his fang is the Fang here on Halloween. Nicholas Handy, shout out to you as well. Lots of picks in the chat as well. A lot of folks asking questions here about the Detroit Pistons and OKC game. A lot of good questions there from everybody here in the chat. All right, that's going to do it here for everybody here tonight. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew. We're going to go ahead and wake up. Bye, guys. You guys have a great night and eat